Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at another 4K limited edition release from Vinegar Syndrome, and it is 1984's Mutant. This is also a film that was known as Night Shadows, although in terms of physical releases, it's only ever been released as Mutant. And yeah, this is directed by John Bud Cardos, who also did Kingdom of the Spiders from the prior decade, which was a decent enough effort to be honest, and apparently made a lot of money on a really rather low budget. And yeah, this is a horror film, clocks in at 99 minutes long, stars likes of Wings Hauser, who was also in A Soldier Story, Nightmare at Noon, Tough Guys Don't Dance, and Tales from the Hood, as well as Bo Hopkins, who was also in Nightmare at Noon, as well as The Getaway, the original with Steve McQueen, and The Bridge at Remagen. And finally, Lee Montgomery, who was in the Ben film, which was a sequel to forgotten now. It's basically the one with the rats. And yeah, burnt offerings as well. So after getting into a scuffle and finding themselves stranded in a remote southern town, brothers Mike and Josh discover that they are in the midst of a much deeper problem. That night, Mike is attacked by someone or something, and the following morning, everything about the sleepy town seems to have changed, as many of the locals appear sick and begin exhibiting increasingly unhinged and violent behaviour. With the help of some equally concerned townsfolk, the brothers soon discover that forces beyond their control are slowly transforming the citizens into a horrifying form of the living dead. So, even though this overstays its welcome a little bit and has a somewhat anticlimactic conclusion, this is nonetheless an engaging effort that has an effective build up to a second half that is overall really rather entertaining. The cast is also good, the pacing is on point, the production is solid, the score is well done, there is some well executed tension, and the action is overall rather decent. The score itself actually is done by Richard Band, who'd obviously gone with his brother Charles Band to work on many of their Full Moon Pictures releases. So yeah, and yeah, the score is definitely one of the standouts. Definitely makes it feel like a much higher production budgeted film than it actually is. But yeah, on the whole, a fairly entertaining effort to be honest, as far as these kind of lower budget zombie films go. Nothing spectacular, but an overall entertaining effort, and one that Vinegar Syndrome have lovingly brought to 4K. So yeah, really rather like this new artwork we've got on the go on this slipcover, which continues on the reverse. Yeah, we have the film on Blu-ray and 4K, just like we did with Bacterium. And like with that film, we also have some reversible sleeve artwork as well. So we have the new artwork on one side, and then we have the original artwork on the other. So you'll most likely see the alternative title with this artwork on it called Night Shadows on like its letterbox, but like I said, Mutant has been the far more used name outside of its initial theatrical release. So yeah, on the 4K disc, you've got the 99-minute feature presentation of Mutant presented in Dolby Vision HDR and newly scanned and restored from its 35mm original camera negative with the following sound options. You've got the original English language 2.0 stereo soundtrack, as well as an archival commentary track with director John Bud Cardos, producer Ego Cantor, and actor Lee Montgomery, as well as a brand new commentary track with film historians Howard S. Berger and Steve Mitchell. So yeah, the aspect ratio for this is 1:85:1, and yeah, it's region A only apparently, which I didn't think was the case for any 4Ks, but clearly it is for this one. And yeah, it looks and sounds perfectly good, but being a low production budgeted film, it's hardly going to look spectacular anyway. But it looks fairly good, and yeah, I'm not going to say it's a essential release to get on 4K, but if you're into these kind of films, then you probably just want the best version regardless. As well as that, you've also on the Blu-ray disc got everything that is on the Ultra HD disc, plus the following special features, which are a real country boy. That's a 17-minute interview with Callie Lily Hauser, widow of Wings Hauser. Then you got Mutant Report. So that's writer Anthony Everett reflects on his father's coverage of Mutant, and that clocks in at 7 minutes long. Then you've also got an archival interview with actor Bo Hopkins, which clocks in at 11 minutes long. And then finally, an archival interview with actor Lee Montgomery at 16 minutes long, and a trailer on top of that. So, yeah, a fair decent amount of extras there. And the film itself is overall pretty good. I would say I enjoyed this far more than I did Bacterium. Um, Although that was entertaining in its own way, in terms of a kind of a bad way. Whereas this is entertaining in more of leaning to more being good more than just being an entertainingly bad film. So yeah, but I can certainly see people not enjoying this for certain reasons, because like I said, it does outstay its welcome a little bit, and it's hardly, you know, original in certain ways, and far from has its many surprises. And I would have liked the ending to be a bit more, you know, entertaining as well. There's plenty of horror films that have been low budgeted from this period that have got really rather quite entertaining final acts. You know, look at like the Slugs, for instance, where pretty much a whole town is blowing up, and yeah, this was really entertaining. And considering the final act has a couple of our leads, you know, trapped in a gas station with zombies all around them and the like, you would have expected the gas station to at least get blown up, but alas, that is not the case. But unfortunately, fortunately, should I say, it is still an overall rather entertaining film, and yeah, well worth the watch, quite frankly, and far better than I was expecting. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you have seen Mutant before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.